Right, let's remain or perhaps stick with the main story that we're leading with today, and that is the appearance of the former President Jacob Zuma here at the Pietermaritzburg High Court. And of course, the long-awaited trial of the former President Jacob Zuma expected to be heard here today. The founder and convener of Public Interest South Africa, Tebogo Khaas, says the significance of pursuing the former president on those corruption charges cannot be exaggerated. He says the trial will serve as an affirmation of democracy. Khaas joins us now from our Johannesburg studios to talk to us about this particular case. Mr. Khaas, thank you very much for your time. In the opinion piece you wrote on Sunday, you say that this is quite a significant day for the country and, of course, the rule of law. Why is this so important, this particular case against the former president?
Yeah, sad as it is, I mean, it's a dark day in our democracy, but the significance of it is to underline or to underscore the fact that our democracy is premised on the rule of law. And it is for that reason that it is important to see that no matter your status, if you've got matters of a criminal nature that you need to account for, I think it's important that accountability happens.
You say that this arms deal trial, this particular court case that the former president is facing, was a dry run for Zuma's mega heist. What do you mean by that?
We have seen former President Zuma graduate from a petty receiver of petty cash from Schabir Shaikh's secretaries. If you remember, the last time he was reported to have landed in a government aeroplane to go and pick up, I think, about 3,000 rands or something like that to pay some small change somewhere, and to accepting or arranging bribes of 500,000 from via his former financial advisor Schabir Shaikh, to eventually stealing as or allegedly pilfering, as President Ramaphosa mentioned the figure yesterday, of 500 billion. So certainly that certainly set him up as somebody else who seemed to have graduated from petty pilfering to mega heist, as we've seen it reported by the president yesterday.
Now, last week, of course, we saw the U.S. State Departments of Justice and Treasury impose sanctions on the fugitive Gupta brothers and, of course, their business associate Salim Essa. But questions remain about why is the U.S. not looking into people like Duduzane Zuma, for example? Why is it not looking at multinational companies, KPMG, SAP, McKinsey, you name them? These were companies that were also accused of enabling state capture.
Yeah, that's an important observation to make, actually. And much as we commend the U.S. for having taken the steps that they have with regards to the Gupta families, we certainly are asking questions, and those questions are pertinent as to why other companies seem to be treated differently. That is notably the KPMGs, McKinsey's, Bain and Company, and so forth. But we shouldn't really be too hard, because we do not know what the U.S. authorities may be onto. It might very well be that the Guptas were a low-hanging fruit, although I would even argue, maybe somebody could also argue that KPMGs and the McKinseys of this world, having accepted their wrongdoings as far as their transgressions at ESCOM, should also be regarded as low-hanging fruit to be plucked and feel the same wrath that was visited upon the Guptas. And yes, you're quite right. We want to see consistency in the application of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act in the U.S. as well as the Magnitsky Act. So certainly we would implore on the U.S. to continue the same trajectory that they have started on, but to do more and ensure that they treat all individuals and companies without fear, favor, or prejudice.
Mr. Khaas, there's a final question to you. We saw last week, in particular, the province of KwaZulu-Natal, where I am this morning, the raids by the NPA's asset forfeiture unit on properties belonging to people such as the former eThekwini Mayor Zandile Gumede. What are ordinary South Africans to make of this action by law enforcement? Are the wheels of justice beginning to turn, and should South Africans gain confidence?
I think certainly it will do a lot insofar as improving the confidence, the public confidence in the criminal system, criminal justice system. But of course, that shouldn't be a flash in the pan, and it might very well be that although it is a significant development insofar as one of the key or important political figureheads in the ANC seem to be hauled before the courts, there is still a long way to go, and it will be too premature to celebrate anything, because in fact there's still a need to overhaul the system itself. We still have got vestiges of the past Ndluli and Saul Lazarus allies within the criminal justice system, and we need to have them rooted out. And also, for as long as you've got the likes of Moiponi, forgot her name, the head of the Hawks, yes.
Moiponi Noko.
Yes, the head of the Hawks in the Free State. As long as we've got people like those at the helm, as long as we've got clouds hanging around our National Police Commissioner, as long as we've got a Minister of Police whose sartorial elegance is not matched for the criminals, we certainly got a long way to go, because even the police minister himself is, is sailing very close to the wind. Insofar as allegations that were made.
Thank you very much for your insights. We're going to have to leave it there. Thanks indeed for making the time to talk to us this morning. He is the founder and the convener of Public Interest South Africa, Tebogo Khaas there. Let's move further afield.